The morning I was fired, I made myself a promise. Not an angry promise, not a tearful one, the kind you make quietly, with steady hands and a very clear mind, the kind that takes years to keep. They called it a restructuring. They gave me a cardboard box, a half-hearted handshake, and 45 minutes to clear my desk. The same desk I had sat at for 11 years. The same company I had helped pull from the edge of bankruptcy with my own 2 hands. My name is Marcus Webb, and the people who destroyed me, my mentor, my business partner, and the woman I once called my closest friend, had no idea what they had just set in motion. Let me take you back to the beginning. I joined Meridian Consulting straight out of graduate school at 23. No connections, no family money, only a degree I paid for myself and a refusal to fail. That's where I met Richard Hargrove. Richard was 51, broad-shouldered and silver-haired. He made you feel like the most important person in the room. He mentored me, pushed for my promotions, and told everyone I was the future of the firm. I also met Diane Sho, sharp and brilliant with numbers. She became my closest confidant. And then there was Patrick Hale, Richard's son-in-law, who joined with almost no experience but a high title. For 9 years I restructured the entire client portfolio and landed a Fortune 100 contract that brought in more revenue in 1 year than the firm had seen in the previous 5. At 31, I became the youngest senior partner in the company's history. Then, I made the mistake that would cost me everything. I started talking about buying the firm. Richard had mentioned retirement for years. When I approached him with a serious acquisition proposal, he smiled and said it was exactly the kind of vision he hoped I would develop. I spent the next 4 months building a complete business plan, projections, strategies, and investor commitments. I shared drafts with Diane and the vision with Richard. What I didn't realize was that I was handing them the blueprint to remove me. 6 weeks after I submitted my offer, Richard called a board meeting I wasn't invited to, using my own financial models and ideas. They created a management buyout led by Patrick and funded by private equity firms, relationships I had cultivated. I found out from a guilty assistant. The next morning, Richard told me the board had decided on a PE-backed buyout. My new role would be transitional. I had generated 31% of the firm's revenue that year, yet I was being pushed out with a buyout at book value, less than a third of what I was truly owed. I didn't cry, I didn't argue, I didn't make threats. I simply walked out and started building. The buyout closed 4 months later. Patrick became managing partner. Richard stayed in control from afar, and Diane was named CFO. From the outside, it looked like a smooth transition. But 3 of Meridian's largest clients had real loyalty to me, not the firm. In the months after I left, they started calling me. I had already registered Webb Strategy Group. The first client to leave was Gerald Ashworth's logistics company, 8 figures in annual fees. Then the second, then the third. By month 7, the firm had lost nearly 14% of its total revenue. While Meridian struggled with bleeding numbers and unhappy investors, I was thriving. Webb Strategy Group grew fast. We hired talented people who had also wanted to leave, moved into a proper office, and built a strong team. During this time, I also organized years of notes into a book. 14 months after my firing, The Architecture of Loyalty was published. It became a bestseller in its 3rd week. The book resonated deeply with people who had been betrayed in the workplace. New clients came to me because of the story. 18 months after I left, the PE firm's lead partner called me. Meridian was in serious distress. He wanted to talk. What followed was a quiet, controlled demolition. All the documentation I had carefully saved, emails, model versions, timelines, came out through legal channels. Patrick resigned. Diane stepped down into a much smaller role. Richard's reputation was damaged, and health issues ended his days as an industry elder. I didn't celebrate any of it. By then, I was too busy building my own future. Webb Strategy Group had just signed its largest client. I was writing my second book and had hired my 22nd employee. The version of me that walked out with a cardboard box wanted revenge to survive. But the man I became had something better, a life that no longer had anything to do with them. That was the coldest reckoning of all. When you give your best work to people who only see you as a resource, it's easy to believe you should have given less. Marcus Webb chose the opposite path. He gave more, but to people who deserved it. He built something no one could take away, because he owned every piece of it. Betrayal can teach you the wrong lesson or the right one. The wrong one is to trust no one and play small. The right one is to know your worth so well that you can survive when others don't see it. If you've ever been handed a cardboard box when you deserved credit, you know that cold clarity. The real question is what you do with it next.